Basically what my plan was is I wanted to go over a game that I played. I played this off stream, and I wasn't even playing with anybody else. I was queuing alone. I was solo queuing. It's not even a terrible game on my part, right? Like, I do all right in it, but I make a lot of mistakes throughout it. And even the good plays that I make, which I do make a couple of them, I think that you could still critique when you make good plays and come out of it like learning something. I think that's the really cool thing about this game, right? There's so many little things to it that you can do something really good and still be like, but I could have done that better. And that's kind of what I wanted to look at today. Particularly within this VOD, I'm probably going to talk about positioning and decision making, because I think that those are the two easiest things to pick out within this one. So basically what I did is I went through this entire game, right? And what I did is I clipped out all of the points or all of the rounds that I thought had something of note that I could say. And then we're basically just going to go through it. I wrote down a couple notes. I didn't actually make it all the way through the VOD today because I realized that this is actually quite a long VOD, even with the rounds clipped out. So we'll see. We'll probably jump around a little bit and we'll critique whatever I feel like I can. And then hopefully at the end, it'll be cool. Hopefully. I hope it'll be cool. This is a new thing that we wanted to start doing on the stream as well. I kind of said it just a little bit earlier, but if you are interested in having your VOD reviewed, we are going to be doing this for other people and viewers. We do have a submission form on the Discord, so if you wanted to do that, we're going to have it only for Twitch subs right now, but we might open it up in the future. This is just to keep it kind of limited. I don't want to get like a ton of VODs and then like not be able to review all of them and stuff like that. So I think it would be really cool if we could just get a couple of people coming in, and we'll slowly start to like trickle in, and then maybe I'll open it up to everybody eventually. But we're going to be going over this game. It'll be really cool. I'm playing Omen in this game, and we're playing in a split, which is really cool because I just did a Omen split video talking about how to play Omen in the middle of split. And that's actually the position that I ended up playing in this game. So I think it'll be really interesting. Notice right away. Actually, I'm just going to let this round play out. I'll let the round play out, and then I'll critique it, right? So we're chilling in the middle. I decided to smoke it. I think I noticed the Sova dart, so I decided to smoke B as well. Not a bad call, honestly. Breach pushes through that smoke, able to take him out pretty quickly. Is the sound of the gameplay? It should be. It's a little faded, but I come over here, B site, they're pushing on, and I end up getting taken out. Okay.
Omen top.
I make the call out, but I wanted to just focus particularly on my gameplay. The other people in the game didn't really consent to me like critiquing their gameplay, and honestly, I don't think that it's beneficial to myself to like critique on what my opponents are doing. Right, that doesn't benefit me at all. So we're just gonna focus on what I did this round, and I think that's what you should do. You should always be focusing on what you were doing throughout the round. That's going to help you improve the most, right? So we're going to start out just from the beginning right here. You notice that I'm trying to figure out where I want to play this position. You can play either mid from the left or the right. I talk about this in my video. There's not really any problem with playing either of these, but the reason I decided to play to the right over here is because I wasn't feeling very confident in my aim. As a lot of people know, I come generally from a MOBA background. I played like 10 years of League of Legends. I haven't really played CSGO since like 2016, and I kind of like started to get back into it recently, but my aim is still feeling a little rough. So I decided to take a little bit more passive of a position. I didn't want to challenge anybody mid here, even with a Ghost, which is going to be a better weapon in this range right here. So we decided to play from the right here, and I hold this angle for a second. I don't see anything. Right there, this is a stupid peek for me to make. You see, I try to peek over here. This leaves me completely exposed just to like check the right side. That doesn't really make sense for me to do that, and that could have easily resulted in me getting killed. But we back off a little bit. I ended up smoking this just so that they don't push it. It's difficult for a player to push through a smoke. As you will see, this breach tries to come through here, and we actually do get the pick on him. I do want to note how aggressive this actually is of the breach, and this is something that you should take note of when you are playing your own games. If somebody does something like this throughout the game, players generally have the same tendencies, especially in a matchmaking game. So noting that this breach pushed this smoke can be beneficial for later in the game, and that will appear later as we go through the VODs. But breach comes pushing through. We're able to get that first pick on him. That's not terrible. I think that the beginning of this round isn't bad, and I don't have a problem with how this played out. This is where it struggles, obviously, because I died. There's a lot of things that go on here, right? So I'm going to pause it right here. We see the rays coming out. I know that it's a little pixelated because it's like a video review on like the thing, but you can make it out. The rays pushes out here, and we actually see the jet over here already on site. This is enough information to make this decision a bad decision. When I peek out right here, this is just me directly engaging this jet. I do have a teammate behind me that could have waited to like help me with this engagement, but instead I decided to poke out here, expose my entire body, and try to challenge this jet. Notice also I'm still exposed from tunnels. There's 3 players left, and we don't know where any of them are. Somebody could have easily peeked out tunnels and killed me even if I won this engagement. I ended up getting taken out. How I could have played that better, right? I'm playing Omen. I'm chilling right here. It's the pistol round. Look at this like graphic update, dude. This map is starting to look more and more beautiful. Okay, when I peeked her right here, this is fully exposing my body. I could have played a little bit more back and just gone for the headshot, which would have left me like a little bit less exposed. And keep in mind, I also had a blind, and I also had a teleport, which I could have used the teleport in this fashion, as we talked about in previous videos, where I could have played down here, a different position, where I'm less exposed to the tunnels. If anybody came around this corner, I might have been able to pick them off. It's just me challenging this jet without using any utility right here and fully exposing my body left me very vulnerable, right? It could be looked at as like, oh, he just lost that gunfight. But if you just look at all your fights like, oh, I just got outgunned, then that's going to like not help you improve to the best potential that you can, right? It's going to be a lot more beneficial for the player to be like, okay, I did lose that gunfight, but what could I have done to better position myself so that I could have won it, right? And I think that fully just challenging this jet while especially I'm exposed from tunnels is just not the right decision. That probably wasn't the best call right there. So the second round right here, I'm gonna buy Phantom and light armor. I'm preparing to smoke off mid here again, as you see. Playing on the right side, I think is probably one of my favorite positions in the middle, right or left. You can like teleport it through, which is really cool with Omen. You can do either of those things, and you can play some pretty risky positions with this character. So that's why I particularly like him in mid. We did a whole video on it previously. I poke up here in the zip lines. They're hard pushing A. And comically, I end up getting a run and gun. she did not stop moving. I just think this is kind of funny. Just the way that she runs it, just how absolutely wrecked I got right here. She just runs through and annihilates me, dude. Like, anyway, I'm not saying that was dumb. For the record, I messed up a lot here, so that's why I wanted to point out. That's what we'll go through, right? Our Sova comes in here. They all get taken out. We get absolutely wiped there. Very short round, right? Something already happened in this round. We're gonna go back to the very beginning. I'll even have to go back further than this, right? Even further than that. Okay. Notice, like I said, I bought a Phantom and I bought light shields. The reason for this is because I didn't have money to buy full shields and a Phantom, and my team was buying out as well. This is the third round. Generally, you'll flow by the third round. I mismanaged my money, and I ended up only being able to purchase light shields. I'm not sure if this ended up making a massive difference throughout the round anyway, but just keep in mind, on the third round, you should be able to full buy, and full buying means that you'll have 3,900, you'll be able to purchase a rifle and full armor. This is like the general rule of thumb, especially if you're playing it unrated and you can't communicate with your teammates. It's generally best just to make sure that you can full buy on the third round with your team. So that you could be at full strength, right? And we do have a teammate playing with a ghost as well. That guy messed up even more than I did. But we end up smoking here and rotating over to this side. Okay, right here again, notice that I'm smoking a position that they are already pushing through, right? I'm going to land my smoke right here at the T entrance. That breach was already out. By the time that the smoke lands, they're going to be pushed past this already. Instead, what I could have done is I could have smoked this cross right here. And I chose to use my utility. This is a decision that I made that probably ended up getting me killed, right? Had I smoked this spot, and this is pretty essential to smoke if you're going to be coming over here to retake, I could have crossed over here. I would have been in a better position. But instead, I'm playing this position on zip lines, waiting for this jet to come through. I tried to pre-fire her right there. Didn't end up working out. And she just runs down and shoots me down. Arguably, with the light armor, too, I could have survived like an extra bullet from her. Maybe I could have won that trade. You could have focused on like the aim. Oh, I just didn't shoot her. But I think that it's a lot better to just look at the fact that I smoked a bad position there. I just misused my utility, right? I also still, like I said, I had a blind and 2 teleports. Maybe I could have done something with those there. But more importantly, I just wanted to smoke or focus on that smoke that literally did nothing this round. I just kind of threw it out there. Kind of keep in mind where you're using these things. They're so powerful, right? And I think that this is a very good spot to smoke, this cross right here. Just if you're going to be going for this retake. I think it's almost essential, is what I would say, honestly. So that's the second round right there. Now we start doing a little bit of a comeback. So it's 0-4 right now. Game's not going too in our favor. We're on another buy round. We were finally able to buy again. I bought a Vandal. Notice how I use the ping system in the game, too. I think the ping system could suffice for callouts sometimes. You just press Z to ping a location. I think it's almost better a lot of the times, too. Because callouts can be vague. Pings are not. Pings are, hey, there's a guy right here. Right? Like, We ended up taking out there. If you missed it, we got a double kill right in that smoke, and then we ended up getting taken out by the jet just right there. Not a bad play, honestly. It's really not a bad round for myself. But it could have been better. That's kind of what I wanted to focus on here. So as we talked about earlier, that very first round, that breach ended up pushing through that smoke. So that's why this is what I was thinking in the moment. We've already seen these guys play very aggressively, right? So it's very likely that they try to push through these smokes. I'm almost positive they're going to push through this smoke, and that's why I'm watching it. As the raised grenade lands, I decide to back up. I noticed a lot of people struggle with raise, so I just kind of wanted to make this clear. When a raise throws a grenade like that, don't tank it. Don't. Back up. Give up the position. You back up. Same thing with a rocket. If she uses a rocket, just back up. She throws a grenade. I back up. And I take this position right here, right? They start pushing in. You see this Omen smoke land and you see the jet smoke land. This is why I started to think they're going to push this. I wanted to play aggressive here, and I wanted to get within this smoke and be prepared for this. Breach comes pushing through. Take out the breach. Take out the raise as well. This is the position that I'm in at this point. I am slowed within this smoke. They know that I'm here. We heard jet dash through here as well. It's kind of hard to hear when I on stream, like with the recording and stuff. When we hear jet dash through right there, this is when I make the decision, right? While I'm in here and I kill these two guys, what is the next move? We know that Jet's on one side of it. There's 2 players left. The chances that Omen is on the other side is probably pretty likely. I think that the only thing I could have done in this situation, probably a little bit better, I tried to push out of this smoke back while I'm in a slow. I think that while you're in the slow, don't do anything. I think that is the best thing I could have done in this scenario. Stayed inside of the smoke, maybe pushed back towards the Omen. Shift walked so she couldn't hear me, because she could have killed me if she just decided to spray through here. But like, my decision to try to exit the smoke ended up getting me killed, right? And although we can look at this play and be like, okay, he got a double kill, like that's pretty good, I don't think that helps us improve in any way, right? Just looking at a play or like making a play within the game and then being like, hey, that was good, like that doesn't get you anywhere, right? You can pat yourself on the back and like call it good, but that doesn't help you improve in the long run, right? Being able to look at something and be like, that was good, but I think that's what benefits you. Being able to be like, that was good, but what could I do better in the future, right? And I think to do better in the future in this scenario, like I said, just chill in the smoke, chill in the slow. They can't push you. There's a slow right there, right? Nobody's gonna be pushing me right there. I can wait that out. Smoke might disappear. Smoke disappears before the slow does, right? But then at least it'll give me a chance to gun on them, or maybe a chance for like a teammate to rotate. We have my teammates coming through middle. Maybe they could have dealt with the Omen and I could have gone that way. There's a lot of things that I could have done there besides trying to push out of the smoke, which just resulted in me getting murdered, basically, right? That was a good win though. That was our first win of the game. You can get kind of discouraged when you're having just like round after round of losing and stuff like that. I think it's good to, when you get that first win and you recognize this team is beatable. There's a lot of times you play against people, you're like, dude, we just can't win. Like we just suck compared to these guys. I think it's good when you get like situations like that. Once again, I'm going to be smoking off the middle. This isn't anything new for me. And I pushed up in the smoke again. This was kind of a risky move after pushing a smoke once already, but it does work out well for me. And after we get the first pick, you see we back off here too. I think that's probably a good call. A re-smoke. Still playing back here. This is a round I feel really good about. We end up using our teleport over to A. Reasoning for this is nobody's on A. We're watching middle, so they can't rotate through middle to B. I decided to ult A, just so that we have a person over here, just in case they tried to rotate through sewers, because I knew that they were playing on sewer side. Throw another smoke mid here. The global smokes are really nice on Omen. You should really be utilizing them, but and just as I tried to predict, they ended up trying to rotate A over here. This is the open site, you know, the closest one to them, so just so I keep calm, refresh their mind. That's a good call. Just try. That's what I try to do. If you're losing the rounds, just be like, okay, what are they doing that we could utilize, or what that we could take advantage of, and try to play around that, right? In what scenario do we win this game, or do we win this round, right? Doing little things like that, thinking like that, I think that's very beneficial. As you see, I'm able to clutch out this round. This was a really good round for me, so we're going to go back over this, just exactly what was going on here. I don't like to look at these rounds in particular because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to like flex with my gameplay and stuff. I don't think that I'm an amazing player, but I think that like being able to use your brain to like outplay your opponents is very beneficial, right? I don't think that I'm not very confident in my aim. You'll notice a lot of these kills in here are not headshots. I understand that there are like things that I need to work on within my aim, but I think that my strengths in this game is generally just understanding my opponents and like outsmarting them in that way, right? So we'll go over it again. As I smoked middle here, I had not pushed this yet, so they probably wouldn't expect me to push in here. I did just push a smoke previously though, so this is kind of a risky move. Jet does end up coming through though with the spike, and that's a call out that I do end up making, I think. I back up. It's a good idea to retreat in a situation like this, right? Because now you hear they all started pre-firing that smoke, knowing that I was in there. If I didn't retreat there, I was probably dead. So get the one pick, and then you can back out. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Now I push back up here. We're just holding this angle down. Our Sage did wall our side of the middle. I don't know about that call, but like it's all right. It ended up working out okay. And now knowing that they are walled off and knowing that they're in middle, knowing that they have sewers occupied because they killed our teammate over there, I decided to teleport A. Just thinking that this would probably the most obvious rotate for the enemy team, right? I teleport over here and I just kind of chill here. I found that this is a pretty like decent spot to catch people off guard. Generally, when they come to plant the bomb here, they don't check this alleyway right away. So you can play here. Some people call it elbow. I call it alley. And I just chilled. I was just waiting. I was waiting for the sound of like somebody rotating here. I ended up throwing my smoke here because the reason I threw the smoke is because I wanted them to think, oh crap, this is smoked off. We got to rotate, right? They know that Sova's up here. If this is smoked, maybe they end up rotating through sewers back to A. I was in the position that I needed to be. I just really wanted to get them to like come A. I wanted to try to convince them to come A. So I used my smoke in that direction just to try to like encourage it, right? Sova ends up coming over here. I kill Sova in an alleyway. Keep that in mind that I killed Sova as well. And I back off here. Pulling out my knife there was probably a risky move in hindsight that Omen probably could have been heaven. But we come over here. Playing this position. I'm mainly just repositioning because I was worried that Omen might come from the alley or from elbow and kill me in that regard. So I wanted to get in a better position where he couldn't catch me. He ends up ulting out to sight. I do end up pre-firing this. I don't know if I love that I did this. I know that Omen ulted, and I know that he smoked the upper part of there. I thought that maybe he ulted up there, which he probably did, honestly, but I think that I fired at it too late. And by firing there, Omen didn't know where I was at this point in time. Now he does. So I don't love that I did that, but he comes to peek me there for whatever reason. I don't know why he peeked me. I would have just gone for the bomb plant, but we ended up getting the kill on him. That was a good round clutch. That makes it 2-4. Again, bringing more hope to our team. Like we're feeling a little bit better now about this, right? So yeah, I thought that was a really good round for me. But again, there were some things that I didn't love within it. So like the fact that I rotated over here, the fact that I shot at him, the fact that I pulled out my knife a little bit earlier. There's just like little things like that you could always critique in your game. So whenever you do something like this, that's what I really encourage people to do. Don't look at what I did well. Look at what I could have done better. And that's not to like take away from like what you did well. Like, you can still recognize it, give yourself like a pat on the back, but also be like, I could have done that better, right? This is a cool one-way smoke that I showed in my split video. The one we referenced earlier. I hadn't used this yet, so I thought this would be like a good time to kind of unveil it. I landed the one way. You see I spot the raise, and we ended up getting the kill from her through that. She did have an op. A little risky, I guess, but we got the pick on her. And notice I just rotate right here. We'll critique it a little bit earlier. I'm just going to let this play out. End up rotating to heaven here. Doing something very similar that you saw in the first round. And I get taken out there. So this is very easy to look at this. And just be like, that was like a lack of communication from the Sage. Maybe she didn't notice that he got out. That first pick there is pretty good. Right here, what I would have done is I would have teleported across. If I were to do this again, we have 2 teleports. We should use them. I should have teleported across here, because if we had somebody on the left side at sewers, I could have easily gotten taken out crossing over here, right? That's not even the first quarter that I check either. That one area is smoked off. You pushed out of a smoke. Scary. Yeah, I pushed out of the smoke. That's one thing that I did wrong, right? But then like that's probably the main thing that I did wrong there, actually. So it would be easy to look at this and be like, oh, Sage just didn't make the call out that Omen made it across. And I do end up spotting the Omen. but a little bit too late, right? He's already aiming at me. He already takes me out. Pushing out of the smoke, not a good call. If I was to push out of the smoke, what I could have done, honestly, is I could have just dropped down right here. But the fact that I came out heaven, just completely exposed. There's no cover in this position. A lot of people come out on this balcony. There's no cover here. When you do this, could easily result in you dying. This Omen played aggressively there. Also take note of that. When I say take note of these things too, this is things that I'm actively doing in the game, right? Just recognizing that when somebody does something that catches you off guard and like putting it in like your memory bank. Literally everything that I said, take note of that, will come into play later. So this is another play that I had. I don't know if this one's as relevant. This one highlights a little bit, but so this is me coming in. I think I did something good here again.
He's on site.
I'll let this round play out. This is another round. They're pushing A here. Lots of slows down. I know somebody's underneath me at this point. My team's getting absolutely wiped out. Get the Omen kill. Drop down. Get the breach kill. And I know that they're both heaven. Go for that spray. Miss a lot. Right? Okay. So what happened there, right? I think this one's a little bit more plain and simple. I think that I played this well. But notice none of these kills are actually headshots, right? Had I been aiming for headshots, I might have had more bullets for the spray, which could have resulted in me killing them. Had I been aiming for headshots on that spray, I probably would have wiped them there. This was set up for me to make a really good play. And I just kind of whiffed it. Is the unfortunate thing, right? So you could look at this with like aim and stuff like that. I think that this one's probably a fair round to look at that. I think that I played this well. I think that this is mostly crosshair placement right here. I'm not aiming for the heads. It's a little wonky, right? Maybe not also jump in front of the breach and jump down with cover. I don't think that pushing the breach was absolutely terrible. I did end up getting the kill here, like you said, but I think the fact that he had an op and me pushing him aggressively like this, I don't think that turned out terribly for. I don't think I lose that matchup every time. I think that this is an okay engagement to make. But particularly, I think that I'm mostly worried about the crosshair placement right here, right? None of these kills were headshots. And those guys, I didn't even kill, right? Could have also waited a bit because the Omen was clueless, so you can't wait to see the other players. That's something I could have done. Waited for them to push out and stuff. I think I was just worried that there was more players right here. I think that this is the thing that I didn't know here, right? I didn't know how many people were right here. I knew there was one heaven, and I knew that Omen was there. There could have easily been two players right here, though. I think that's the dangerous part about this peak, right? Me jumping down there and trying to engage that. If there was two players here, I die immediately, right? So that is something worth noting too. Other than that, though, I don't think that round was terrible. I think that that's like the situation where everybody loses their trades, and it's just kind of unfortunate, and like you try to make up for it. I think that had a lot of potential in it. I think that the main thing I would just note here is crosshair placement. Honestly, just aim higher. I think that I could have taken them all out, but I don't have anything much more to say on that round. This next round, you'll see I use the one-way smoke again. End up getting a kill right there on Pro Allen. He was the Omen character. He was actually doing pretty well this game. Again, backed off like there. The thing that I really do like about that is that I'm not prolonging these engagements, right? So people that you can kind of grow with, right? Backed off for the raised rocket. That was pretty good. Playing pretty aggressive right here, trying to peek on top of this wall. Not a terrible move, honestly, but it's definitely pretty obvious for anybody's like aiming this down. And I think right here, you'll notice I try to do the same play that I did earlier. I'm holding this down. Somebody gets killed mid. We have this walled off. I decided to teleport to the A over here. This is probably pretty obvious, generally, if you do something like this. So I'm playing in this position right here, and I'm thinking, I did this earlier, and more importantly, I killed Sova doing this, and Sova's alive right now. Sometimes you can get away with making the same play against a team as long as one of the player that you did it to, or the player that you like caught with it, is dead. The fact that this Sova's alive right now, I feel a little uncomfortable in this position that I'm in right now. So I ended up actually rotating just a little bit back into this corner right here, which I don't think is a bad call. I think that's a good call, honestly. I'm holding that angle. Raze comes around this corner right there. I think that she probably got a call out from the Sova that I was in alley. As you notice, she's running through that alley with her gun out. She's like very prepared for me. Wasn't prepared for me to be in that corner. I was able to take her out, and I moved over here. Generally, when you kill players like this, if you're gonna kill a player from a position like that, take a different position. Don't be in the spot that you just killed somebody from. I could easily get pre-fired from that position. You'll see Sova comes around that corner. Probably checked where I was. I was able to take him out. Again, as I commented earlier, it's probably pretty risky for me to go up on top of that wall. Right there, that could have probably easily gotten me killed. And then also, another thing to note, when I killed that jet earlier, again, wasn't a headshot. I probably want to aim a little bit higher. We do get that one kill there. Again, probably would have teleported as well, but we're able to run away here. This is the thing I really wanted to highlight in this round, too. I throw the blind there. I'm holding this position. I think I landed another smoke. This is something that I think a lot of players needed help with, right? A lot of people struggle against Raze. You hear her ulti right there? Run. Don't hold that angle. I back up here and I start watching a different angle. I start watching tons here. She could have easily pushed up here, but the stage just walled it off actually. And like we'll probably hear the C4. She ends up firing the rocket exactly where I was standing. Had I not moved, that rocket would have killed me. When you hear the Raze rocket, back up. Just back up. I've never had too many issues with Raze, I'm gonna be honest, but like a lot of people seem to struggle with her. You just really need to respect the rocket. When you hear her ult, you need to move. Sometimes you just need to give up positions. That's a lot of what the ultimates are in this game. It's like position control. If you need to move, then you need to move. My other option was I die, right? So just give her the mid. Just give it to her. Right. Round plays out. We ended up clutching it, as you saw. I ended up teleporting. I already explained all that, but let me go for now. But hope you have a good one, homie. Thanks for stopping by, Jitter. I appreciate you, man. This is another one-way smoke that we ended up using on Omen. This one's not as amazing, but it's all right. You can smoke off the left side. If people cross through here, you'll actually see them, their feet. You hear the Omen ulti. Notice we end up using that smoke I was talking about earlier. So we didn't end up learning from our first mistake. Unfortunately, we decided to be an idiot right here. We know the breach is up here. We know Silva's ulting. I end up trying to push the breach to the smoke, and I end up dying. Don't know why I did that exactly. I think my logic was I was trying to get behind him there. But we'll go back to the beginning of the round. Like I said, we're watching mid. Nobody's in mid. That's all right. We ended up landing the smoke the correct way this time. Ended up smoking out the cross, which is a good call because they could have easily pushed through here. Had the breach seen me crossing there. We know that the breach is over in this area, probably coming up the stairs. So landing the smoke is a probably good idea. We get the breach flash. This is when I'm confirmed that breach is here. And even when I push up right here, now we know that Sova's over there as well. So knowing that two players are on this side of the map, what I could have easily done is I could have rolled back here and try to come out heaven instead. Knowing that there are two players right here. I don't need to push this. I think what I was worried for is that the breach might push through the smoke. But I think that playing it back here and like waiting for him to push that was probably the better call rather than pushing him myself and just resulting in me dying like that. Like hindsight's 2020, right? But just that was kind of a dumb call. Me occupying this area doesn't really do anything for our team. Unless I kill both the breach and the Sova. That doesn't give us much ground. We still got to deal with the two people who are on the site. So that's what I would have done better in the future. I probably would have came Evan rather than actually pushing over there and try to take over A. But again, I could try to critique what my teammates are doing, but that's not the whole point of this, right? I think that a lot of people focus too much attention on their teammates when they're playing these games. When you're playing in like matchmaking and stuff. It's not your job to make your teammates good. That's a lot of the time why I mute them too. And I'll even point out later something I was thinking about while I was watching this that I just really wanted to say. But we land that smoke again right there. We're just holding this position. Our Jet is pushed up right here, so we're actually her backup right now. If she gets into a fight, it's our job to back her up. I ended up moving because of that freaking boombot, but like, it's important that we are there to help her in that situation, right? And we ended up having to back out. So I don't actually know what happens with her in that situation, but as we pointed out earlier, though, that Omen, when he played aggressively before, that time that Sage was watching and like he got out, when he smoked this is a very common thing for Omens to do. I ended up pinging here, not shooting the bot. I had my knife out. So I was just running from it. I should have shot the bot, but I didn't think that the bot would see me. And by the time it saw me, I already had my knife out. So yeah, shooting it would have been the right call, but like I just in the position that I was in, I just didn't have my gun out. Plus, like, running away from it, I think we took like 30 damage. Yeah, they're like 30, which is like that's a lot, but no, we took even more than 30. That was like 50 damage, dude. Yeah, definitely should have shot that. But notice how I use the ping system too. Omen teleports in here. We saw Omen come out earlier. I ping it right there just to like notify them that he's there. I don't know if they really understood exactly what I was saying there, but that was an easy kill. When people play aggressively like that, that's an aggressive move. If you've seen it before, call it out, definitely. We already know that he's been playing aggressive, doing stuff like that, so it was an easy call out to make. I come back over and watch mid here because Jet died. Not a terrible call. And I play this position right here. This is a risky spot right here. If they do end up checking this, they could just pre-fire this. But I do actually get a lot of kills here because this seems to be like the common location to check. Notice again, my crosshair is a little low. And I go for that full spray on breach. I end up dying, dude. This play isn't terrible again. Like the spray on him is pretty atrocious, but like the getting the double kill and everything, like that is beneficial to our team. I let him 117. That's pretty a guaranteed round right there. If you're gonna spray at somebody though and you're gonna miss, after I missed like 5 or 6 bullets here, I should have just reset my spray. Like there's no shame in just bursting people. Everyone tries to go for full sprays. The thing with sprays in Valorant is they're random, right? My spray control could have been better here. At this range, it probably doesn't make too much of a difference that it's random. But I literally just outline him. It only takes 1 bullet to kill an enemy, right? Rather than us both missing our entire spray, just take the time to headshot him. Like literally just stop the spray and like headshot the guy. I found myself committing to if I start a spray. Yeah, there's literally no shame in just me stopping that spray and just headshotting him right there. Or even backing up.
17.
I took the engagement. After I missed my first 4 bullets, I could have just backed up, right? I already sprayed down the Sova. I was already down on bullets, right? I had 20 shots by the time I started this. 13 shots left. I full peeked this guy. I came all the way out here. The odds that he was pushing with somebody, I think I even heard the footsteps, right? It's just, this is a very aggressive move. This full peek. Coming all the way out like that, I don't know. That was just kind of a dumb call by me. But I should have won that engagement regardless. But like taking that full peek too, just in the future, I probably wouldn't have done that. So now we are on the attacking side, right? Pistol rounds are very important. As we talked about the first pistol round, I took like kind of a full engagement that I probably shouldn't have. This attacking side is a little bit more rough for us, just as in natural. Attacking is a very defensive side of map. This Omen tries to do something stupid. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he was trying to teleport across. He probably messed up his teleport. That gets us a free early kill. This should be... We're in a good position now at this point in this round, right? This should be a good round for us. We end up getting a sec... No, we actually don't kill her. I dinked her, though. I end up pushing up here. I'm getting shot from behind. Take a lot of damage there. Lucky I didn't die right there, honestly. I try to shoot a smoke there in tunnels because I think that somebody's in tunnels and I end up getting taken out.
You healing 4? You healing 4?
I think that's a good call out to make right there. As far as like team communication goes, we'll talk about it a little bit later. I'm gonna let this round finish up. I'll give her moment, right? She goes for the engagement. She loses it, unfortunately. So we're gonna rewind it right back here. We'll get the kill on the Omen. I decided to go mid. I don't think this is a terrible call out. We probably could have pushed B off this, me and Sova. But I think that going mid to help out my team, I don't think this is terrible. Rotate in there. I get the dink on her. Unfortunately, we don't get the kill, but I don't think that's terrible. She's lit up. Their stage is dead. Like this is, or they don't even have a stage actually. This is where I get kind of upset with myself. Playing this position right here. The thing that I've learned from unrated or just matchmaking in general, never trust your team to have your back on anything. That's not to say that your teammates are bad, just for the record too. Like I'm not saying like don't trust your teammates like they're terrible. I'm saying that if you trust your team, you don't know who these players are. You haven't been like necessarily watching them play as much. I trusted this Jet to be watching this position, and I ended up almost dying because of it. You could just play safer positions. It's just in matchmaking. It's not. I don't think it's amazing to rely on your teammates. In a team setting, you can rely on your teammates. I think it's matchmaking that's not the time for it, right? I ended up almost dying there. I'm lucky that I didn't. I had my whole back exposed to this guy. I thought that Jet was pushing up on him. And I ended up getting taken out from this breach right here.
Both heaven.
After losing that much health in that position, I was kind of like pinched.
You healing 4?
We thought that Jet was still zip lines too. It was just like that put me in a really bad position right there. Just trying to take that engagement while I was exposed from another angle, right?
Healing 4?
I'm not blaming the Jet for not watching my back. I'm blaming myself for putting myself in a position where I could be shot in the back, right? I think that's the important distinction here. Rather than blaming your teammates, blame yourself for the mistakes like that, right? It's not Jet's fault for not watching my back. It's my fault for leaving my back exposed.
Nice try.
Again, not being toxic or anything. There's no reason to yell at anybody. You want to keep your backseat gaming to a minimum as well, because you gotta be worried that just as much as you get tilted, you could also tilt your teammates. There's no point in me like yelling at this stage for like her plays and stuff like that. Even if I feel like she could have played something better. And I think that comes into play a little bit later. So now we're in the second round there. We're still on pistols. Somebody does a force buy. I buy a frenzy right here, right? Go into this next round.
Careful right there, Omen might teleport there.
Pushing the tunnels there. I get taken out super fast.
I think Omen did teleport there. I think I heard it.
I'm still making callouts for my team. Trying to help them out. There's something I really wanted to highlight in this round, though. I could let it play out. We just lose. No. There's still important parts here, right? I'll just play out.
You got a wall off behind you, Riv.
So I'm dead. And I'm trying to help him out right now, right? Trying to make these callouts. I want to wall him off, which is a good call. That's a good call. I heard Omen teleport mid, so I figured that it may be coming behind him. Letting the team know that they're heaven. And then I called out the Omen's the garage, because he is. I heard him take a step in garage, which is useful information for the team. I'm not sure if anybody else is making those callouts. Omen comes running around the corner, kills him. He only had like 5 health left, so it's just like the likelihood of our teammate winning that. Probably not very likely, right? The thing I really wanted to highlight here is that a lot of players would get frustrated with their team in a setting like this. And I'm not saying this is like a hierarchy thing, like I'm better than other players, right? The thing I really wanted to talk about it here is I messed up, right? Where am I at? I messed up. I pushed this guy with a CZ. Rather than holding this angle, I just tried to rush the jet. She smoked this, so it's very likely that she's trying to come through here, right? I tried to push her with a frenzy. She has a rifle, actually. And I ended up getting taken out. That's frustrating as a player. As somebody, when it is your responsibility to win your games. You need to accept responsibility for that, right? When you die, you have zero control of how the round plays out. You can try to make callouts like I did, but it doesn't matter because you were the one who died, and that was your mistake. That is on you, right? When I try to push that jet and I get taken out, I have immediately given up all of my control within this round. I am dead now. I can't do anything.
I think Omen did teleport there. I think I heard it.
At the very beginning of the round, I hear Omen teleport into mid.
There, Omen might teleport.
I have the game sense for this, right? I hear the Omen teleport mid. He teleported right behind these boxes. That's why I pinged it. And then we start pushing in here. I know that the Omen's there. Later on, I tell Sage to wall this off.
I think Omen did.
Because again, Omen teleported there. Which is a good call out. There's nothing wrong with that call out. But the problem is, I'm dead. I can't do anything with this round. I can't do anything with that information other than relay it to my team, right? Which, although like that could be helpful for your team, and maybe your team does end up clutching it, I can't control what my teammates do. And now that I'm dead, I have no control over the round. So I think that the frustrating thing is that I died so early in the round. That's on you. This round is not on my teammates. It's not on Sage using her wall in like whatever way, you know. It's not on them missing their shots or anything. That round is on me. And I think that's good to recognize within these games, right? That's the only way that you can improve too, just for the record. If you're ever looking to improve in any game, you need to accept responsibility for literally every single loss. Even if that means like literally rounds like this. You can have rounds where it's like that game probably wasn't actually my fault, but like if you don't focus on what you did wrong, it doesn't matter. You're the only one who matters in this game. That's why I was making callouts to my team right there. It doesn't matter if I did it or not, right? If you're looking for the win, like obviously like it's probably better to make callouts to your teammates. But like realistically speaking, after I had died, I could have just shut up and I could have just let them play, because it's not my job to help these teammates improve or anything. It's not my job to like get relay this information. Well, maybe in a sense it is, but like I've already lost. Like I've already lost my half of the round. Just let your teammates play it. Let your teammates focus on the game. That's especially if you're being rude. There's just no sense of being rude after you die. A lot of people just get frustrated, right? That's why they're being mean to people. They're frustrated that they failed or that they messed up, so they're like rude to other people. But in a sense, it doesn't really matter what I say or do after this round. I already messed up. And like acknowledging that I messed up is going to benefit me way more than making these calls to my teammates, right? But anyway, keep moving on. Once again, all I have is a sheriff right here. I hear the jet push up here. I try to take another engagement, and more importantly, I take a close engagement. I know that my reaction time on my aim is not Amazing. And particularly my reaction time's all right. The odds of me landing this kill on this Jet, though, when she has an SMG, she has a gun. I don't know this because they won the last round, right? She has money to buy a gun. And I peeked her with a sheriff. I get frustrated right here, you see?
Shoot the dude. The dude right in front of you. Shoot him.
I don't say that in in-game chat. I just say that to myself, right? But you can tell I'm frustrated right here. I go for the peek. I get annoyed that I die here. And the reason I'm annoyed, like I said earlier...
Shoot him. Shoot the dude. Shoot the dude.
You hear me spamming my spacebar?
Shoot him.
The reason I'm upset, like I said, is because I messed up. And you take it out on other people. I didn't say that in-game. I said that to myself, but I get rezzed. I get a second chance, which is cool, actually. I actually end up doing something with this, right? I picked up our Spectre here. I wanted to play this aggressively because I think that we're on an eco. At least I was on an eco. I don't know. All I had was a sheriff, right? I don't have any armor. I just got rezzed. I wanted to play this aggressively and make something of this res, right? So I ended up doing this play. I've showcased this a couple times on my Twitter. I smoke off the cross and I double teleport right here into their spawn. This is hyper aggressive. I don't have any armor though, and all I have is an SMG. So I figure that taking this trade is not a terrible idea. They're probably holding these angles with guns. Me playing aggressively is not a bad idea. I tell my teammates to play it slow because I am pushing up here. I'm gonna be honest. Generally, me communicating to my team to play it slow does not result in them playing it slow anyway. But I oftentimes just communicate to your team, hey, you don't need to do anything. Just don't die right now, right? Which is luckily, I think, what they do actually in this position. I end up sneaking up through heaven and taking these guys out. Works out well for me.
Reach is still banned.
I get taken out by the Omen, but luckily we get that double kill that gives the entry for our teammates.
Reach is back in sight. You guys can rotate.
And I make the right call right here for them to rotate. This is the correct call in this position right now. We know that 2 people are B. All 3 of the teammates are in a position to rotate to A. They end up deciding to push B anyway. But again, I died. Not my choice to make. Not my choice to make. So it's not worth arguing with them on it. Just let them do it. It works out well for them. They end up getting the kills and stuff. Pushing it 3v2 though, not something they had to do. It's not what they had to do. I never play slow. I always go fast. Nice. You are playing Jet, so no, that worked out well for them. They ended up getting the kill. They did lose 2 people though. That was a close round. That was way closer than it should have had to been. They could have just gone A, planted the bomb, and they would have had an easy round right there. So this next round, I've been going A every single round, or I've been going B every single round. I decided to go over here in A. This is a strong lurk position that I always play. Not always, but I'll do this frequently. You can catch people off guard here if you never play this position. So it's a little cheesy if they check it, but this seems to work out well for me very frequently. So just chill here. If you haven't been going A, a lot of the times they'll push out. They'll try to come sewers, and you can just hang out. Fun spot to stay. If they Sova dart it too. Don't always trust your Sova darts. If you shoot a Sova dart like that, recognize that sometimes people can hide like right here, right? He comes pushing through confidently because he didn't spawn anybody. I'm able to get an easy kill on him, despite the fact that I missed like literally all my shots on that guy. But I end up pushing up here, taking it slow just in case they're hiding in corners or something. It's just breach left. Find out that he's over there in heaven. I start pushing quickly. And thing I want to highlight right here, I'm pushing up with the Sova. My job is to assist the Sova here and trade with him. Sova's coming through heaven. A lot of people would watch the Sova peek this and just see where the enemy is. Like you just kind of stare at him, right? If I don't trade with that Sova, then his death was effectively for nothing, right? I fired my blind, which presumably he might have moved because of the blind, right? He's aiming down that corner. But if I just let Sova die, we're in an even worse position, right? I gotta come in for the trade right there, and that's what I do. Generally, when your teammates are gonna peek like that, be ready to trade with them. Especially if you are the one playing, which you always are the one playing, right? If I'm speaking to you directly, you are the one playing. You should savor the opportunities when your teammates are actually going into entry, right? Because how many times do you play a game and none of your teammates want to actually entry, right? When your teammates going in, be there to trade with them, right, dude? That's an opportunity for you to get kill, you to get an ult charge, you to be able to trade with the enemies and narrow down their team without you dying. Like, that is a good position for you to be with. Be there to trade with your teammates. If somebody's going in for a trade, be there. We end up going A over here again. We did just hide their last round, so I don't really want to do that again. Generally, if you're going to use a cheese spot like that, if you're going to kind of bait somebody out, Don't try to do it twice. If you do it twice, then you'll oftentimes get caught. You'll notice throughout this game, I do a lot of very different things, right? I'll be playing one position. I'll push a smoke. I won't push a smoke. I try to use my teleports in different ways. Actually, my teleports were probably one of the worst things about what I did this game. But you want to be unpredictable as a player, right? I talked earlier about how a lot of players have like very similar tendencies, and you can get used to it. The less predictable you are, the better your games will go generally. I fire off some smokes here, and I end up using my teleport over here into their spawn. This is something I like to do as Omen. I like to just teleport into spawn and just wait for rotates. So you see my team's pushing B, kind of. I wish that they would have pushed it a little bit stronger or done a little bit better over there. But I'm just waiting for the rotates. They end up getting wiped, unfortunately. But Sova comes through. I do get a free kill on the Sova. I decide to push through here. This is where I make a bad call out. Can you rotate A? I ask her to rotate A. Now I'm getting freaking wrecked here, dude. I'm getting riggedy wrecked at this point in time. I asked her to rotate A based off of nothing. Based off the fact that they died in mid, and based off the fact that they kind of died in B, right? But besides that, I didn't have any more information. They could have easily rotated, right? I did kill Sova and spawn. They got a call out likely. You'll notice as this round plays out, she ends up coming through here. She tries to go B after I died at A to multiple people. She comes in here for the plant. There's nobody on B. I could have easily rotated back to B, and we could have had this site, right? Hindsight's 2020, of course. Like, I don't think it was like at the time it made sense for me to go A, but making a call out based off of like zero information. Every now and then you just make bad call outs, like it's fine. But like, I didn't have any reason to believe that none of them were A, other than the fact that somebody died B, right? Or that my teammates died B, right? If they died in tunnels, they died in middle. But besides that, they ended up all being A, and I asked her to rotate A. You know, it's just like making call outs like that. I don't know. That can be kind of rough. Generally, you want to gather a little bit more information. Like, you should be positive when you're asking your teammates to do stuff. She gets taken out. Not that big a deal. Keep moving. A lot of the times I won't shoot the bots until they actually spot me, just because I don't want to reveal my position. If you're able to dodge one of those bots, it can actually like really mess up the enemies. But we're looking to take control over mid here. That jet pushed up without using any utility. Again, we're not really commentating on the team's play, but I think that's something that's like relevant to note. If you're gonna push something, generally use a smoke or something, especially as jet, because you do have the smokes. You should generally smoke like one of the sides. And I ended up dying in the Sova ult. You remember earlier how I said when Raze ults run? When Sova ults similarly run. Dude, there's no chance, there's no point in me like chilling here. After I killed that Raze right there, I ended up dodging this one too. I should have pulled out my knife and booked it. The fact that I'm playing this position and trying to watch those angles, I could have just dipped out. Notice I'm playing Omen. Teleport up here, utilizing those teleports and stuff. You can play very aggressively with this character. I don't think there's any problem with me teleporting right there. Somebody's obviously going to come zip lines for a rotate, so I held down that position. Come over here. Try to wallbang him right there. Not a terrible call, but it did end up getting me killed. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with this round.
He was over by stairs.
There's obviously always like little things that you can comment on, but I don't think this one's terrible. Aside from like don't wallbang stuff. And then lastly, this is the last round. I ended up ulting behind them. Again, to the same spot that I ulted before. Generally, again, you don't want to do the same trick twice, but I'm holding here. My team tries pushing in, and they actually drop like flies. They end up getting wiped out. Just all of them. And now I'm left alone behind them. I think what I could have done here is probably just pushed in faster. I was kind of waiting for the rotates, but this strat only really works if you're able to take control of site. And just like historically seeing my team, they struggled to take sites. So I think that doing this strat with a team like this probably wasn't the best call. But and I am to get taken out. Unfortunately, we don't win this game. If you didn't put that together, we actually go 8-13, which is all right. It's okay to not win games as long as you're improving, right? And I feel like we improved a lot from this game, just like recognizing what we were doing wrong and stuff. So I think that it worked out all right. I'll probably edit this down and upload this to YouTube. So if anybody is interested or they enjoyed this talk, they enjoyed this little VOD review, feel free to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, do all those cool things, join the Discord. If you wanted to get your own video reviewed, then you can definitely come over to the Twitch channel. We're only doing Twitch subs right now, but if you are a Twitch sub and you have your Discord account linked, you can come to the Discord server and you can actually, we have a channel for it with the thing and stuff. Aside from that, I freaking love you guys' faces, and I will see you in the next video if you're watching this on YouTube.